Bullshit. Before Elaine spoke this time, Ragnar cursed Cynthia first, then slapped her again, and cursed. You the FC King treat me as a 3-year-old child? Charlie is married, you do not know? I know. Cynthia cried and said, because I know, I can only make this move. I want to separate Charlie and Claire first, and then my daughter will have a chance. Ragnar sneered. You woman, you are very dishonest at first glance. I can tell from your eyes that you didn't tell me the truth. Cynthia was nervous to death. In fact, she does not have very good psychological qualities. She has been arrogant before. It is not because of how strong her psychological quality is, but because of the reputation of the Wade family, so she can be free and unreasonable, not afraid that anyone dares to treat her badly. However, this is not Eastcliff after all. She also underestimated Ragnar's hatred for Charlie. At this time, Ragnar just wanted to teach Charlie a lesson first, and then find a chance to kill him as well. Therefore, it is impossible for Ragnar to reason with Cynthia. If Cynthia can't prove very clearly that she is not Charlie's aunt, then Ragnar would rather kill the wrong person than let it go. Therefore, Cynthia could only choked and said, You gentlemen, since you hate Charlie so much, you must know that Charlie was an orphan since childhood and grew up in an orphanage. How could I be his aunt? If I really am his aunt, how could I let my nephew live in the orphanage for so many years, don't you think? Ragnar snorted coldly, gritted his teeth and said, What's impossible? When my bastard brother-in-law died, there was a little girl left behind. That little girl was my wife's niece, and she was also called my wife her aunt. She has always wanted to bring her to my side to raise, but I did not agree, so the little girl is still living in the orphanage. Isn't this the same as your situation? Cynthia was stunned for a moment, and she had no idea what to do. At this moment, Harold on the side rummaged in Cynthia's bag for a while, pulled out a document from her bag, and handed it to Ragnar with a flat face, and said, Mr. Ragnar, look, this woman is called Cynthia Wade. From Eastcliff. Ragnar frowned immediately. Although the surname of Wade is not too much, it is not too few, so he did not think of Cynthia and Wade's family together. On the contrary, he discovered that this woman was also named Wade, and almost instantly concluded that this woman must be Charlie's aunt. Thinking of this, he gritted his teeth and grabbed Cynthia's hair, and his big mouth drew several times. Cynthia's mouth was full of blood, and she said coldly, You are brave enough, and dare you *ck me. Do you really think Ragnar is vegetative? Cynthia was beaten up and down, and her whole body almost collapsed. She cried and said, Mr. Orville, I beg you to let me go. I have no grievances with you. Why should you embarrass me again and again? If Charlie has offended you, then you can kill him. Don't make me, a woman, so miserable please. Cynthia didn't dare to reveal her true identity as the last resort, because once her true identity was revealed, it might be an even stronger motivation for Ragnar to kill her. Therefore, she wants to carry it to the end. If there is really no other way, then use the identity to make the last fight. At this time, Ragnar grinned. You said you have no grievances and no enemies with me? I tell you, all Charlie's relatives and friends are enemies of Ragnar. You two, one is Charlie's aunt, one is Charlie's mother-in-law, so don't both of you want to run? After that, he immediately shouted to a bodyguard next to him, Amau. First, drag Charlie's aunt to me, and shot her. Ragnar's violent shout made Cynthia's whole person instantly shaken into chaff. Because of the high tension of her body, Cynthia didn't control it, so she urinated her pants on the spot. Since she and Elaine were tied back to back, after urinary incontinence, the urine flowed down into a big pool. Elaine suddenly felt that the place where she was sitting became damp in an instant, and there was still a bit of stinky smell in the air, immediately like an electric shock. While struggling to move her body, she cursed, What about you, girl? It's so disgusting. When is it good to pee in pants? Not pee now. *ck you bitch. Cynthia has completely collapsed, and all the decentness that she has cultivated for decades as a wealthy daughter has disappeared in this lesson. She looked at Ragnar and cried and said, Mr. Orville, please don't kill me. I am the eldest lady of the Wade family of Eastcliff. My name is Cynthia Wade. As long as you spare me this time, I can give you a lot of money. My father Zhongchen Wade will also give you a lot of money. Suddenly, Ragnar was taken aback, looked at Cynthia, and asked incredulously, "You said you are the eldest lady of the Wade family?" Cynthia cried and said, "Yes, I am." "I really am," Ragnar asked again. "You said your father is Zhongchen Wade?" Cynthia nodded repeatedly, choked up and said, "Yes. Zhongchen is my father."